Encounter, we have another edition. Gujarat Titans versus Rajasthan Royals, and the victory margin 58 runs. I'll repeat, 58 runs. That is akin to more than an innings defeat in test match cricket, because quite often we've said 30 runs seems to be a big win in T20 cricket. This is almost double of that. So the closest comparison that I can think of is his innings defeat, and that's exactly what has happened to Rajasthan Royals. It was a good batting pitch to bat on, and at one stage it did look like they were, maintaining the required run rate, but they kept losing wickets at regular interval. And that means that Gujarat Titans go on top of the points table. The only team so far in the tournament with 8 points. Of course, you'll have another team joining them tomorrow when the Delhi Capitals are playing Royal Challengers Bengaluru. With me, Mr. Shashwat Bhalla, Harshit Ahuja and Siddharth Vishwanathan.
Yes, it's a royal thrashing that the Rajasthan team has been subjected to.
Yeah, by the Tamil Nadu Titans.
So that we can actually...
What?
We're talking about how we could describe the nature of this win.
I mean, shellacking.
The R word. 4-letter R word.
Rout would be much better, but not a... I mean, the Gujarat Titans bowlers ran riot, isn't it? That's the way we
Rout, riot, whatever.
Yeah.
All three of us had picked Gujarat at the beginning of this game, despite the fact that Rajasthan had come with 2 wins. I'm very sure if Shashwat was there with us at the start of the show, he would have picked Rajasthan.
No, I would have picked Gujarat only.
Hindsight now.
Yesterday I picked Rajasthan as the wooden spoon winners. Yesterday when you asked me, Rajasthan I picked. When you said that I can
fair
change.
Fair point, Shashwat.
So I would have anyways chosen.
Fair point.
GT only.
You would have chosen.
GT.
You would have chosen. But what do you make of the performance? We did a long show in the mid innings.
I think GT is really looking a very complete team. Suddenly,
what do you mean suddenly?
I had changed my top 4. GT was there in my top 4 initially, but then I changed and I'd gotten in Delhi in place of GT. But I wasn't expecting GT to be so. They're looking like a very complete team, and roles are very defined. One of the very few teams who know their combination at a very early stage. Otherwise, lots of teams still continue to go on and figure out their right combination, and that just takes half of the tournament. So the sooner you do it, the better it is. Plus, you're also getting results. So I think Delhi Capitals is another team like that, and RCB as well. These 3 teams are sort of...
It's taken a lot of effort to bring RCB.
All these... I think these 3 teams
So you underestimated GT to the level that they were. Anybody else who had
I had also underestimated GT. I didn't have them. I didn't have them in the top.
Did you have them?
No.
Now, any of you changing?
I'm not changing.
Okay, you still think this?
I am tempted to
I
change.
I still see a problem there, but when you look at it's almost... It's contradictory, in fact, to say that there's a problem.
That's fine.
Why it's to be contradictory is because you look at all 4 wins that they've had, they are all big wins. None of them is a close win. Either they won by 8 wickets or by 7 wickets. The other, it was 38 runs, I was checking, something like that. And then today is a 58 run victory. So 11 runs is that loss, but 36 runs, 8
Even
wickets.
that they came close if it wasn't for Shafin Rutherford.
Exactly. That was the first match. But after that, they've now gone on and won 4 matches in a row. So 58 runs today, 7 wickets, 8 wickets, 36 runs. All are big victory margins.
And yet you think they're not top?
Yes. For that, my reason is that yes, certain results have gone their way. There's still so much time left. But I see there's one common thread in all those wins, and that's runs at the top. The time that stops happening, I don't know how this middle order will perform on a day where not 1, not 2, but 3, 4 wickets are gone in a flurry. We saw with Punjab. Can GT also do something like that? We saw it with Delhi. Lost. They were 8 for 3, 5 for 3 in that match against Lucknow. They managed to pull out a win. But for a batting side, for a side that is so top heavy right now, where most of the balls being faced are by the top order batters, I was looking at the amount of time that the middle orders have had. The middle order has had in terms of game time. Today as well, you see just about 40 deliveries being shared by 3 batters. in Shahrukh, Rutherford and Tewatia. Tewatia has been unfortunately run out a couple of times, but I don't think the middle order is getting a lot of time in terms of game
because
time.
they've not been required.
Required.
So
They've not
you
been
really
required.
can't say that they're out of form. But the valid point is that you think they're untested so far.
Yes,
And maybe
so,
they don't.
So on days, and there will be more days going forward where you will have both your openers, let's say, gone in the
Doesn't matter,
power
no.
play.
Butler comes in.
and Butler gets a middling sort of a knock, not that day before or the match before the previous match that they played, which he got 76 odd runs. So I want to see them tested in times where top 3 are not performing, which is why I'm still not willing to put them in the top 4.
The only thing over here is that I know that there is still a lot of time left, and we sort of do talk about this. We think that there's a lot of time left in the IPL till the time that actually comes. But again, I'll say that the intensity is so high now that we realize half job is already done for GT. They've already won 4 games. All they need is just 4 more wins. So even though I think it's about picking in
4 out of 9.
4 out of 9. That's all that they
Less
need.
than 50.
Less than 50%, and half the job is done.
It requires a lot of guts for someone to say that they. I mean,
Yeah.
when any team is in this state,
Because I feel
it's a lot of gut to say that they won't make the top 4.
Because half of the job is done. They still have 9 games. They've won 4. And with Punjab Kings, this was the same problem. I think with their middle order wasn't getting too many opportunities. Suryan Shedge got 1 opportunity in the second game. First game he also didn't get to bat. But yesterday when they needed, I think somebody stood up. And today Shah Rukh Khan, Tewatia and Rutherford as well. All of them have shown signs of that they are sort of in form. So I feel that now I wouldn't want to change my prediction right now, but I think they're not almost there. They've definitely taken that lead, and they'll have.
You're not changing your prediction, but you're
because I've already changed one.
No, you don't have to change your prediction. This is not about your
they'll make it.
prediction.
Yeah, I
Would
think
you
they'll
reckon?
make- because now everything is done. They'll have to play absolutely rubbish cricket to not make it to the playoffs now.
I am changing my prediction. I think GT are making it to the top 4. I'll replace one supposed Tamil Nadu team with another Tamil Nadu team. I am taking CSK
Tamil
out.
Nadu Titans will make it.
Yes.
And the Chennai Super Kings will be out.
Chennai Super Kings will be out. I don't see CSK
You
bounce.
still don't have Delhi in your prediction.
I don't have Delhi, but I think that's the only change. I have only one window opens up and I can make the change.
This is your second change. First
Change. I had kept MI, KKR, RCB and CSK. But now I'm changing it. Instead of CSK, I'm getting GT in. So that is the only change I make, because they are looking like the total package when you look at the bowling and the batting. Batting today stepped up despite a Shubman Gill failing. Despite a Sharfin Rutherford failing. All chipped in. Okay, if Sai SUDHARSAN fails, then I do agree, it should be tested. But I think they have shown ample things that, okay, maybe if Sai doesn't prosper, someone else will prosper. Today,
Gill will, or a Butler will.
or a Butler will. So there is depth there, and today 2 major issues that the Gujarat Titans, luckily they have overcome. Today, Rashid coming back to form with his wicket taking. He took 2 wickets. Prior to that, he just had 1. AB Tewatia also coming back with 24 of 12. So you need that firepower, and I think they have finally clicked after 4 games. Today was the day when all the batters chipped in, all the bowlers chipped in.
I already had them in my top 4, so I don't need to make any prediction. But yeah, they're performing as per prediction. I was mighty unhappy with the team today, and they could have lost till they got Sai Kishore to bowl. He was not bowling because a left-hander was batting. There was a Sharfin Rutherford batting for so long. Shimron Hetmeyer was batting, and they refused to get him on to bowl, which I just could not understand. If Arshad had taken that catch, he would have been responsible to get someone like a Shimron Hetmeyer out at that stage, which you were reluctant to do.
Also, if a Shubman Gill had noticed, he had gotten Krunal Pandya out, who is not a right-hander, he's a left-hander.
Yeah.
He's got the variations against the left-handers also. I don't understand. Most of the bowlers, I mean, if you bowl to right-handed bowlers bowl to right-handed batters. That you don't look at matchup, but a left-hander bowling to
No,
left-hander.
you don't bring off spinners to right-handers now. A lot of times you didn't. Yes, Glenn Maxwell got Rohit Sharma out on the 19th of November.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in general, they do not bring. Yes, you got Will Jacks to come and bowl to Virat Kohli the other day, right-hander and off-spinner. But I think that was a matchup and a perceived weakness that you saw. But usually you avoid a off-spinner
again,
also to a
CT
right-hander.
Had
final.
GT in your top 4.
You had a close call between GT and
I
SRH.
think you put them out, didn't you?
No.
You put out
I said,
SRH.
I know my top 4.
See,
Because-
Bracewell, Virat Kohli, off spinner to a right-hander in the CT final, but it worked. Which is why I'm saying this matchups thing now is looking very hyped in that sense.
No,
Because
but if the match is slipping away today, I understand. Okay, the match was under control for majority of the time. But yesterday, Shreyas Iyer did the same thing of not getting UCHL when the match was sort of drifting in between when Conway and Shivam Dubey were striking. You did not get UCHL.
He
No,
actually
so
made two
we
blunders.
dissed that. We dissed that
same
yesterday.
situation today.
And so if you were doing the same with a Saikishore,
It's wrong.
you could have. Yeah, and you know, he was threatening to take the game away till about the 11th or 12th over mark. They were in fact 2-3 runs ahead of what Gujarat Titans were at that stage.
Correct.
The only advantage that Gujarat had is that they kept losing wickets throughout. So you had that cushion.
Yeah.
But on a given day, you know, someone goes berserk, plays a Priyan Sharia sort of a thing, or a Rishabh Pant inning that we compared him to in that previous
Or an Ashutosh
season.
Sharma kind of.
Exactly. So you don't want to give a chance. Get your
Premier
best
bowler.
bowler in.
Yeah.
Eventually, Saikishore did take 2 wickets, but you could have gotten
But your premier bowler is right now a Prasidh Krishna.
and Mohammad Siraj.
Yeah. Although
Okay.
Siraj was over
No, Abhay, it's not about this one game, no? Why should a premier bowler be changed just based on one game? I agree, Prasidh Krishna has been outstanding, but overall you'll have to say Mohammad Siraj also. I think, yes, today if you were to compare the figures of Krishna and Siraj in terms of economy, also Prasidh Krishna outstanding, wickets also the most by any, and he's, you know, matching up to the kind of performance that Siraj is giving. But Siraj has been
Yeah.
your
But
number one.
But today it's a tribute to Shubman Gill, the captain. I mean, especially the way how he calculated the field settings. One to Jaiswal, the other to Nitish Rana. And I think even if you look at Sanju Samson,
Sanju.
brilliant
Short
captaincy.
third. Yeah.
Actually, wideish slip when you look at it.
Yeah,
Both
very
fits.
wide sleep.
Actually, with Sanju, I had a feeling that he realized later that third was there, short third was there.
Yeah.
I don't think he realized it. That
Yes.
field was there, and probably after he got
Also,
out.
The way that he played that ball as well looked very uncomfortable. Did
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was in his mind that the field is there.
Yeah.
And they planned, and I agree with him, that overall those 2 wickets of a Yashasvi Jaiswal and Nitish Rana were not just I'll bowl a ball and let's see what happens. Those 2 wickets were completely planned. Both Arshad and Siraj bowling to the plan, and you keeping a fielder exactly to the plan, and you could see from the reaction when they were celebrating,
especially Yashasvi's wicket. And Yashasvi, the way he was agonized after the fall of his wicket, he knew he had fallen for the trap. In football, they say this was right from the training ground. It was exactly that over here. Fabulous stuff. Even if taking into consideration what you say about Sanju, all 3 taken into account. Very good planning, very good execution as well.
But what Shubman, the GT team did with Yashasvi Jaiswal, I think lots of teams this IPL are doing that. They're bowling wide and then keeping a deep point. At the beginning of the power play, we have seen usually what the trend was that teams would take fine leg and third man when they bowled with the new ball. But nowadays, it's the square leg and the point region, and they're trying to give the batters room so that they can go for the shots. And in that
But
attempt,
every team is coming with a plan. You see KKR as well yesterday.
This specifically
For
lots of
Sunil Narayan, there were 2 players always on the leg side, inside the power play. There was nobody on the offside. The idea was to keep darting in, just surprise him maybe with a foolish delivery, and it eventually worked for them as well.
I mean, in terms of tactics, I agree. Gujarat probably the top team. I'm not talking about points table, but in terms of tactic. And the other tactic, which now you can see more clearly, I did point that out in the mid innings as well. That unlike most teams, their impact sub thought process today was outstanding. They actually played, while batting first, played their bowling 11, in which they already had 5 bowling options. What that did was, that pushed a Rashid Khan at number 7. Now, if anyone who saw that batting card would have said, yeah, that's not a deep batting lineup. Rashid Khan coming in at number 7 and a Sai Kishore at number 8. It's unlike any other team where they're going to be batting till 9 and 10. But I think what they did is that most other teams use it the other way. For example, they will play, when they're batting, they will play their batting 11. In case of a wicket falling, they'll get even a more additional batter later to fill it and compromise their batting. They went the other extreme. While batting first, they played their bowling 11, which means they went with 5 straight bowlers, Rashid Khan at 7, which allowed them later to bring in a 6th out and out bowler, not a part-timer, 6th out and out bowler in a Kulwant Kejrolia, who comes then as a sub. Why could they do that? Because they rely on their top order. So I think what they realize, most of the game, our middle order is not even getting used. But bowlers, we can use them, maybe 6th option, maybe 7th options can be used, because supposing this is a good batting track and we put 200 plus, maybe the team can chase. Maybe we need more bowlers to pack up. Good batting track we can do with one batter less. That's what they did. And now you look at their scorecard, it makes sense, because Arshad Khan at one point looked like he's going to go for run. Then you had a Kulwant Kejrolia as well. So you could afford not to go with a Sai Kishore today. Any other day, let's say, while I believe in Sai Kishore, even in a left-hander, but if you're going with conventional logic and you didn't have any one of those, then Sai would have had to bowl to a Hetmar and majority of those situations. Who knows? He goes for plenty of runs. So I think this tactical planning was done well in advance, that we'll go with multiple fast bowlers, our 2 spinners. There is a possibility that one of our top spinners in Sai Kishore does not get to bowl even 1 over, in which case I still have that covered. And my 2 inexperienced fast bowler in Arshad and Kulwant, both, let's say, have a bad day because they are not that experienced. I still have a filler. So between them, I can full 4 overs. So outstanding tactical thing by Gujarat Titans in this game.
I think this is actually more aggressive than any other form of aggressive field selection or a squad selection that any team can go with. While people can be tempted at the prospect of having 7, and then it can only be follow wickets that will then make a team like Gujarat bring in a batter. But otherwise, if this is the bowling side that they went with, a very aggressive move, contrary to what many people would believe. But this was, I think, real aggression.
And what makes
playing to your strength.
What makes it even more incredible is that they actually put a Washington Sundar out. Who was their best batter last time.
Exactly.
And remember, when they were batting. So what you could have, any other team would have done that, okay, Washington Sundar got us runs last time. He's important. We are batting. Washi, you're in. But when you're going to be bowling or whatever, maybe you'll keep washing, then you take a batter out. And then try and use Washi the bowler also, and then get another bowler in, right? But they didn't do that.
Yes.
They said, okay, you were the highest run getter last time. We understand. You're a good bat. But in this game, we need to sacrifice. We need a fast bowler. We need multiple fast bowlers. We need 4 fast bowlers. And then our 2 spinners are doing well. So we'll go with this. Sorry, Washi, you'll sit out. So when I saw the toss, the batting team, had they been chasing and there was no Washington Sundar, I would understand that he'll be the impact sub, he'll come in. In batting first, Washi out. That means Washi had no chance of playing this game. Unless they had a collapse.
This is a classic example.
Only if they had a collapse.
But they could also do this, and I think more teams can also do this, that because they had an Arshad Khan, they played an all-rounder in either of the situation, and because of that also they could utilize that, exercise that thing. So other teams can also do this if they can't start to play their
teams can. But see, Arshad, and also Arshad is not that. See, Rashid is batting ahead of an Arshad. That's what I'm trying to say.
But also you need that kind of an all-round option then.
Correct.
Otherwise, this strategy comes to haunt you.
Yes, this team has all-round.
It is also in fast.
Washi, Arshad, but today Rashid is batting, so they have. But yet they're saying no. I think bowlers are needed more on this flat track. Batting, though, my 5 guys will only do the job.
They anyways are doing as well.
Yeah.
It's a horses for courses approach when it comes to the impact sub bit.
It's very, and I think credit must go to Shubman Gill, the captain, and Ashish Nehra, the coach. Nobody else, again, this is a big decision to make, and it comes from no one else but that pair. The partnership between the captain and the coach. If it was, let's say, idea of the captain and not the coach, but to have both on board, or whatsoever way it was, it could have been a joint idea as well. 50-50, exactly. It is very good. Whosoever.
Shreyas 50, Gambhir 50.
Ponting. No, IPL last year. 50-50.
That from that time.
Chandrakant Pandit as well.
So then 33.
50-50 only, as in the coaches and the captain.
Then you are reducing the coach.
25.33 goes to Abhishek, na?
I'm saying no. I'm saying the support staff 50 and captain 50. That's how it is. For me, I always.
And in that support staff, 15% to all.
You're dividing 50% amongst all of them. Poor guys. They'll only get 5. Gigi is going to get 5%.
No. It's one think tank. 50% to the think tank.
Madan Chopra mentality. 5%.
Sai Sudharshan, should he be in the conversation for an Indian? See, I know too early Abhishek's not having a great time. I'll start off.
Neither is Yashasvi.
No, I agree. So if you ask me personally, even if this IPL was to go this way, I'm not going to change my opener because it's not fair to do that. They have done the job for you at the international level. One IPL, should you take them out? Maybe not. So, but you can agree to disagree.
Although Abhishek, when you look at his level of success-failure ratio, it's heavily skewed in the failure bit. Let's be very honest about it. For the chances that he's got, right from Bangladesh all the way to South Africa, he's had very few impactful knocks. See that 50 against South Africa in Johannesburg, that 100 that he hit after the failure against Zimbabwe. But then on flat
One
decks,
more 100 also hit recently somewhere.
Yeah.
For India, South Africa.
yeah, South Africa, he hit a 50, right, in that?
No, 100 also.
I think it was 100.
100, okay. So see, but again, it is so extreme that again, 33, 193, I know we are actually, these are not bad numbers, but what can you do about it? He hit one against England, not South
Share the
Africa.
numbers. No, he averages 33
He averages
at a strike rate of 194.
And has 200s international cricket.
He hit one against England and one against Zimbabwe. But again, look at in between. If you got 250s and 200s out of 16 innings, then the remainder of the 12 innings has actually been a failure.
But Sachin played so many innings, only 100.
Arey yaar, against
Others can't be.
Sachin.
No, but I think
I know that knock of 110 innings, he didn't get 100. I know.
See, sir, so that the way you're saying 4 is to how much, however many.
वो युग अलग था. That was a different era. There are only two
But you know
formats
what,
for that.
Siddharth? There would have been players he's played 17 T20 matches. There'll be players who may have played 57 and still will not have 200s and are regular part of.
Yeah,
No,
I
how
know
many
where
Indians
is
have
that
gotten
discussion
100s,
heading
yeah.
into. Yeah.
how many you can still count those
I'm not
Indians
taking
on
the
your
discussion
fingertips.
anywhere.
Look.
I'm just saying in general, T20 hundreds are rare.
To have it in your career is a big thing.
That's what I'm saying. People who have
Yeah.
played 57, 67
Exactly.
matches.
People will
and
retire
still
and
don't
not have a single
KL
T20
Rahul
100.
Strike rate.
Again, KL Rahul hit 200s. He had a decentish strike rate. Wasn't he panned for throughout his career?
Should we say strike rate? A very big difference is the strike rate
In that
over.
time, strike rate wasn't the main criteria in the 2010s and the 2012s. Now, strike rate is
2010s
been
and
important.
2012s.
We have to talk about now.
Now 2012
So,
and
Abhishek,
2012.
for 4 innings, you're wanting to make the strike rate great. Go ahead and do it. But for 12
We're
innings,
taking it for 17 matches. His strike rate.
his strike rate, when you look at it, 193, awesome, but it again hides certain dark undercurrents in his batting.
If
He can be found out with his short ball. He can be found out at the top. He's at the top, remember. He's not in the middle order. If this was middle order, I can sometimes give him a longer rope. But at the top, you need someone else. Honestly.
Why
So
do
would
you
you
need
make
someone
that
else?
replacement
Yes.
with Sai Sudarshan?
Yes.
But the difference is what I tell you. See, while Sai Sudarshan has been outstanding, I completely agree. He's one of the standout batters of this IPL. He operates at a strike rate of 150.
Right.
Now, if you are going to get 190 strike rate and you are looking at players who play audacious cricket, then you have to go, and you will not get that kind of consistency with those players. You'll have to take that. Now, if you're going down that road, then you need to look at that. Then you say, no, I'm happy with 150, but I'll get more consistency, which you're going to get with Sai Sudarshan. Maybe if that's the school of thought, go with it. I'm not saying either is right or wrong. But right now, all I'm saying is that with the success that the Indian T20 team has had, to change that team based on one IPL may not be, but
then-
very well look at Sai Sudarshan as
If you
But
coming
then what
into
is
your
wrong with
setup.
Shubman Gill then? Why shouldn't Shubman Gill be even more consistent and even
Where
better?
is
No,
the
not as
place?
consistent as Sai
But Sai
Sudarshan so
Sudarshan
far in
right
the
now,
IPL.
yeah,
So I'm
so
talking
far,
about this
Shubman Gill
IPL.
as a whole.
Let's say this
Sai
IPL,
Sudarshan is-
if this IPL carries on the way it is, then
Then what do you do then?
No.
No, again,
no, answer it. Let him answer.
I'm telling you, Sai Sudarshan, personally, for me, I think he's going to be an all-format player moving ahead. At least, if not an all-format player, he's definitely going to be in the Test team and in the ODI team very, very soon. I think his time is very, very near. But as far as T20 cricket is concerned, I personally feel that T20 cricket, the team there should be absolutely different from these two formats at least, because you need a different brand of cricket over there. Sai Sudarshan is a tremendous player and he's been scoring runs like this since a couple of seasons now. He's been one of the lead batters for GT since many years now. He's done well for India A as well. He's consistently done well in domestic as well. So he will definitely get his opportunities either in England or the Test series after that. But T20 cricket right now, because the kind of brand of cricket you want to play, that doesn't suit Sai Sudarshan. That does not make him any less of a player than anyone. But in the years to come, I feel the kind of temperament he has shown since the very beginning of his career, he will be serving the Indian team for many years to come.
All right. So, if you want to have instances of audacious cricket when India have been playing, say right from Bangladesh all the way to England, okay, those were the series that happened. Abhishek Sharma's contribution was very, very minimal in that audacious style that you want to play in. He failed against Bangladesh. He did well against South Africa. He's done well against England. Okay. But each and every time you look at it, 356, but prior to that, 3 innings, the rest of the batters had stepped up. It's not as if one guy fails, the others will fail in the current T20 setup. That isn't the case anymore. We are reading too much into Abhishek Sharma's audacity when you've gotten 17 matches.
Could have you scored 280 in South Africa with Sai Sudarshan opening?
Yes. Who knows?
No.
Can I answer? Okay, I can't put Sai Sudarshan in an
Nobody
AI
knows, but
generated
right now,
match.
this Sai Sudarshan. With
Of
this
course
Sai
we could have. Of course we could have. The others who stepped up in Abhishek Sharma's presence was Sanju Samson and Tilak Verma.
But the fact is that, yes, Sai Sudarshan, I agree, will be more consistent. But you will not get those crazy...
But again, we cannot base that situation because the question itself isn't valid. Sai Sudarshan did not play in any of the matches. So we would never know if he's been picked whether we would get
Can
to
he hit a 30-35 ball century, Sai Sudarshan, as per the cricket he plays right
Give
now?
him the chance. Who
Where
knows?
chance he has
I mean,
the
we'll have to
chance.
look at what we've seen so
He
far.
has the
And the
chance.
answer to that is no. But Sai Sudarshan will succeed more often than Abhishek.
Yeah,
that
that's
also
true.
I
So
agree.
don't you want that?
But you want to play
if
T20 cricket like that?
If to answer that question, who's going to be closer to the orange cap?
No.
It'll be Sai.
Yes.
Between the two, I'm saying.
Yes.
Who will be closer? Sai. I don't think Abhishek's getting close. But you think Abhishek could be scoring?
Okay, fine.
But can Sai Sudarshan hit the most sixes in the season?
Exactly
Both
what
are
I'm coming
different
to.
question.
Yeah.
Exactly what I'm coming to. But if you were to categorize batters basis, let's say 250 runs and a strike rate excess of 160, you'll find only 5-6 batters out there, and Abhishek Sharma will be one of them.
See, as it's going, by the way, let's be honest, if Abhishek continues the form, see, he also cannot escape the fact that just because you have that strike rate does not mean that you will continue to have these failures. There are a lot of other batters. Chris Gayle would have a crazy strike rate for his time, or an AB de Villiers had a crazy strike rate for his time. Surya Kumar Yadav at one point had a crazy strike rate.
Virat Kohli never had a
but-
good strike rate.
But my point is that they with that strike rate also, that's fine. Virat is a different batter.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about the batters that you need. So it's okay. There have been many batters with that strike rate, but they also have shown consistency somewhere. You know, you can only tolerate inconsistency to a level, to which I agree that Abhishek also cannot have, 8 games without not scoring. If you have that high strike rate, there has to be some sort of a yardstick. Now, how can I make that as an excuse that, I bat at that strike rate, so I'll continue going. Doesn't matter if I get 8-10 knocks also not going.
Yeah.
That's also not something that he can live by. So
This
he'll
is
have
what
to
I fear,
rectify
actually.
that.
This is what I fear, because there's one too many players playing that way. At times, so which is the one thing I hold against this philosophy of going hell for leather, going gung-ho. If every player does that, there will come that day. You could regret it in the quarters, you could regret it in the semis or the final. And if you're going in with a mentality which says that yes, there'll be troughs, yes, there'll be skyscrapers, then that trough can come in the quarterfinal only, and you'll never see the semi-final and the
Like it
final.
happened in the
Yeah.
T20 World Cup. Virat stepped up.
After a tough
Final.
Yeah,
So
even
that's
your bowler stepped up.
So this whole, the fact that we'll throw caution to the wind, and every batter, if I'm playing with 7 batters, 7th is my all-rounder, all 7 can't have that approach. You need a Sai Sudarshan like player at some point, is what I feel.
But why do you? I don't know. That's why I'm saying Sai Sudarshan. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next year itself he starts playing Test cricket or ODI cricket for India. But in T20 cricket, the only thing is you cannot have that thought of fear or have that thought that you might fail on a day. If you had that thought,
This
if you have
isn't
that-
fear.
So
No,
Punjab
you can
Kings
never
yesterday
score, you
got
would
to
not have
200.
got 280 there.
But
Yeah.
Shashwat, I'm
Yeah.
saying yesterday we saw a team
Yeah.
go to 219.
Yeah.
But if Priyansh was to miscue one of those shots,
Did it happen? It didn't. It won't happen.
he is not going to score centuries every time after
then
his team
somebody
is
else will,
85.
but somebody
Digvesh
else will.
got him out and did this and sent him now.
But somebody else will then that day because everybody is striking like
But
that.
it doesn't
You saw
happen like
Shashank
that.
Singh
It doesn't happen like
Harshit,
it
sir,
is
more
high
often
risk.
than not it
If there are if
T20
every
cricket is played like that, high risk. You can score 280 only with that approach.
There
You
is-
cannot score 280 with
England-
the approach of 45, 50 strike rate. That is not even
teams
a
have
strike rate.
till now, which team has won the World Cup with that approach? The World Cup, T20 World
England
Cup.
won it.
No,
No,
England never
but look
had
at the
approach.
final. Look at the final.
Totally
how,
mistaken.
Look at how Ben Stokes had to play in that final.
Oh no, look at that game versus Sri Lanka, how they qualified for.
Yeah.
Yes.
They would have
So
been
look
out.
at the final. If can we have the scorecard for
No,
that
we
match?
know that.
So I'm
We
just
know
saying.
that.
So you couldn't have done that. You need
Final
to
was 138 or something.
be exactly. And look how
142,
they had to
yeah,
get.
yeah.
Look how they had to get to that. Now,
And
if
they
you had
struggled to get to it.
Yeah, teams haven't won the T20 World Cup with that.
so
So
why
that is what
because
you are aiming
pressure?
for.
World Cup
Why
with
because
that.
there's pressure and you know
Hey, India won
you'll
now
be
with that approach, yaar.
But in the final,
No,
how did
they
you-
didn't win
no,
it in
no.
that approach.
But
they didn't go gung ho.
They
Virat 76 or
They did.
59.
They did. No, throughout the World Cup.
But
they
no,
did.
But when it
But
mattered, they
both those
didn't go
matches,
gung-ho.
both those matches.
Correct,
in
that's
bowlers
because
also
everyone
won
got out
that.
that day.
That's fine,
They had
but-
come with the same plan.
but your
so they
first-
went
You
to
get a
plan B.
Sai
but it
Sudarshan
was
kind
your
of
But your
bowlers
first
who
leg-
won you that game. You had
but
lost that
I
game.
know the pitch.
Look, Klaasen also helped you.
You lost that game.
Pant helped you win that
Yeah.
game with a break.
76
So
of
many
50.
But none of those. I
It
agree
wasn't
that
76 of 25.
the pitch
Citizens
at
let's
Nassau
not get in that
County.
dip.
I will get into it because you have only
No.
440
You
वोट तक
also
तार
know.
तुमने ही
You
छेड़ा है.
also know.
Of course I know.
You know.
You are seriously implying
sir.
that 100 of 20 will win you games every time, but there's risk of failure even there also. He can even get out for a
Because
fastball
there's no
tuck.
fail. You won it World Cup after so many years.
You won it without a gung ho approach.
No, you
played
had
calculating.
that.
It wasn't.
No, you lost
But
all
like,
the World
no,
Cup
no,
because
no.
of being
If we
behind
recall
the
all
ball.
those
Final
matches,
76 of
both-
59.
Only the final.
That was the
too-
main thing that you had to
Arey,
win.
You started off that final also with that approach. It's only during the final you went to the backup approach.
So
na?
that is
that
the
to every team will do.
So,
If Abhishek is part of a team, he starts off like that. That will be your approach. If you
But-
get out,
and he-
somebody
But
in
the
there
approach
in
was
that
nowhere
batting
to
order.
be seen at Nassau County, no?
No,
Arey,
but
because
even
that
Sidhu sir
over
said
pitches
it.
were really
Exactly.
bad.
But
No,
Sidhu
then
sir only said
even
you were
Guyana
lucky to
wasn't
win
like
that game.
that.
Pitches were
You
very
were lucky to win that game. You only
of course
said.
I
Yeah,
have.
then.
Of course I have.
But all the other games you won without luck because of that approach.
No, you didn't win all the. You won because your conditions you utilized better. And again, you want to talk about luck? Okay, you got to know 7 months in advance that you're playing in Guyana. That was luck. But at least Rohit capitalized on the luck. 63, but that also wasn't at a strike rate of 250.
No,
It was
because
close.
the pitch was that.
So, you look at the flat shirt fronts that were dished out to Abhishek
But
Sharma in his
9
debut
times
series.
out of 10 you'll get flat surface.
Okay.
You have to bat like that.
But if you looked at Abhishek Sharma's numbers
you're
on
playing
that
that
shirt front
T20 World Cup in India.
and Sri Lanka.
India is going to play in India only, na?
Until and unless Pakistan.
India-Pakistan, there will be one India-Pakistan league game.
So one game you'll go and you'll change differently.
But if Pakistan qualifies.
By the way, there also you get good pitches.
Of course, you will get.
Pakistan qualifies.
Okay, I don't want to get in the past. Quick word, each one of you. If you were to, let's assume
already
that
said.
this IPL goes on like this.
One more.
If this IPL goes on like this, and Sai Sudarshan is one of the top run getters with a strike rate of 150, and unfortunately Abhishek does not have a great IPL, what are you going to do with your T20 World Cup team?
I am sticking with Abhishek Sharma.
Okay.
My reason for that being, this is a new philosophy post the World Cup. It's a new captain under which I am building this team for 2026. There's a set philosophy that's been ingrained from batter number 1 till whatever order or till whatever number that I have my batting, and that is to play a certain way. Abhishek Sharma has been onboarded for that. There's been a lot of backing. He's played all your series post the World Cup, and I don't want to change basis one IPL.
Okay.
I know who to look to if Abhishek doesn't work out well. That's all I look at. What the if the numbers are to be what they are to be.
Sudarshan in, Abhishek out.
Even if I have to make a change at the top.
I've
of
said IPL is done. You're sitting here.
Yeah,
Abhishek's not had a great
Yeah,
IPL.
I'm getting to. I'm saying even if Abhishek has had a terrible IPL, I'll still go with Shubman Gill ahead of a Sai Sudarshan because I feel Sai.
Our third option, yaar.
You're saying this between these two only. I still stick with Abhishek. Sudarshan would only make it if Tilak has a terrible IPL. Then he can come at fit at number 3. Yeah,
Well,
3.
But why not opener? He's opening here.
I don't know. Opener I'd stick with.
But what is the logic?
Not even 3 number, to be honest.
In case, supposing you're looking for an opener, you will not play him. No. For you, I have thought of number 3. and you cannot do anything other than number
No, with Abhishek Sharma, I want to give him
That's
even
fine.
longer rope. Yeah.
That's fine. But if he's not feeling, why is your backup Shubman and not Sai Sudarshan? That's my question.
Shubman Gill, I feel, is ahead of Sai Sudarshan still in
Ba-
T20.
basis-
Not on the basis of the IPL. I don't think the IPL this time is going to be taken into too much consideration because of the new management. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it would have been.
New management or no T20
new
tournament to look up.
New
No, it's not about new management. You are the management,
For me
sir.
also,
You are
Shubman
everything.
Gill. Shubman
You
Gill.
are Lord God.
Still Shubman.
Shubman Gill. Okay.
Ahead of Sudarshan because he gives me that consistency and that strike rate. A little better strike rate than
No, I think
Sudarshan as well.
Sudarshan also gives you the same.
Shubman Gill can still
We
give
can-
me
we can
60
check.
70, 160
Arre,
70.
you're nitpicking now. Yeah. 158. No,
We can
he's
look at
doing
IPL. I think
158.
that they're the same. We
160,
can check.
that's what I'm
Saranj,
saying.
can we have a
Come
look?
Saying. Just say now. You've just.
Sudarshan and
Sudarshan
I like
will-
one's face more. So
No,
I'm
it's not
taking
about
it
the
or
face. I
something
just
like
feel the approach to the game. It's still in
Achha,
T20.
theek hai. That's you're the Lord God. It was your team. Anyway,
How about you?
My choice is I will stick to Abhishek. I'll tell you why, because I'm not going to look at IPL for everything. And the Indian team has done well with that setup. They have been the best T20 team in the world. I'm not changing anything. My captain is Surya Kumar. My team is that. I'll continue with them. Having said that because of that inconsistency, which worries me as well about Abhishek, and if Sai Sudarshan does have an outstanding IPL, then I'm going to keep the likes of Sai Sudarshan and Shubman and all as backup. There's no hard and fast rule who's an opener, who's number 3, but they will be in my squad. And Abhishek then is on a notice that listen, start out well, otherwise there are guys there. Okay, we'll move away from that. Rajasthan Royals, after 2 wins, back to the losing ways. Yashasvi Jaiswal, is he a worry? The bowling lineup.
They are bowling. See, Yashasvi was a worry. I mean, okay, he had a great BG. For an Indian batter, he had a good BGT by his standards. But again, by his standards, he didn't reach to that mark yet when you look at it in the BGT. However, white ball, I think it's his first major trough that you're seeing. And
What about their bowling?
that is the
Other
reason.
than Jofra Archer, who, by the way, word of appreciation on Jofra Archer. If any of you missed the game, please watch it. He was absolutely on fire. After all the criticism that's gone towards Jofra Archer, that listen, he just sleeps his way through the IPL. Last 2 games he's shown you that he really is the boss. Today, cranking up to 147, 148. I won't forget that one short delivery that he bowled, which was clocked at 147. I said this earlier. A short pitch delivery at 147 is mighty quick. If it was over pitched, it would be in the 155, 156 sort of a range, which is frightening. Even Sai Sudarshan, as good as a form that he has been, was way late to play that ball, and a lot of those runs that he gave, economy of 7.50, a lot of them were behind
I mean, it will be like a
wicket
white
keeper.
haze when you just go by. I mean, 147, it will be like, okay.
You and I won't be able to spot the ball.
Yeah, we
You
can't.
can't.
Even, I think after 120, I think it becomes, for amateur players to even spot the ball.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough.
It is tough.
There becomes muscle memory. You need to practice a lot at that higher
Correct.
speed for the body to react.
And then-
here, even if you see it, let's say eyes also spot it, but you won't be quick enough for your body to react.
Yeah, that's the
To
thing. But
play.
then
By the time you
the bat would have, the stump would have gone
We'll
somewhere
just
else.
feel the grace of the ball or the wind, maybe. That's all.
That is why I didn't have RR in my top 4 for this simple reason that they don't have a backup. Sandeep Sharma is having an off IPL. Finally, I think the law of averages has caught up with him.
What happened to Riyan Parag? Could he have not won them?
I was about to get to Riyan Parag when it was going to be my turn, but with Riyan Parag, I
So
feel...
it is your turn.
Yeah, with Riyan Parag, I feel the shots that he plays, I think
Wow.
it's just me.
Wow shots.
He looks a very different batter, and that's...
No, but those shots, 4-5 shots will not win you games.
Yeah,
now.
exactly. He needs to arrive and win games with those. If he wins games with these shots, there's nothing stopping him from playing for India this
No, but
time.
how long?
But he
He's
has
a
been
consistent,
playing.
consistent player for Rajasthan also now. 3-4
From
now we
last
know he's
year.
the future captain, perhaps.
So
as
when will
well.
he arrive?
He needs to now. He's just little blitz of brilliance.
I
think,
thought,
not
didn't
really.
he arrive somehow in that 2024 season where he was a leading run getter for Rajasthan Royals?
But he needs to win games. How many games did he? As in, those finishes.
Last year he did win a couple of matches.
He won
But he
against
didn't need that
MI.
impact. If today he would have won the game from here, we would have remembered him for such a long time. That he needs.
See, he won you against MI, he won you against DC. Those
DC as
knocks
well.
that were there.
That day there was an Ashwin as well. There were 2-3 weeks.
Sure, but then see, that single-handedly, no one can do a Maxwell each and every time. Okay.
Sometime though, 4
Or a
years he is not.
Priyansh.
Or a Priyansh. But then again, see, Priyansh.
He's only saying it because he's a big believer in him.
I just wanted he needs to at least once you do it once.
See,
once
He
in a
loves his
season.
attitude.
Today,
Love his
Jan
attitude.
Parag was almost treading on thin ice. Okay. I mean, that umpire decision.
By the way, just a word on that, how I saw it. I know a lot of people will have a debate over it, but if you see those spikes, there were 2 spikes. There's one that happens marginally minor spike earlier and later. So as what I saw it, I think the bat did hit the ground and the ball also hit his bat. Both things happened, and so it was out.
Yeah,
Before
see the
somebody
camera
was thinking
angles
about
were such that okay, maybe it felt like the bat had no contact with the ground.
No, it did. So the front on was making it seem like that, but if you
Yes,
look at from
yes.
side on, you'll see it.
You
there.
will see it, yeah.
And there are spikes, so you'll see 2 spikes, one after the other. One
But it
a
was-
smaller
yeah,
one, the next.
But the
bigger.
bat hit
almost
first.
simultaneously.
Yeah, the bat hit first, then the edge was taken. There was a clear edge.
Minor. That's what I'm saying. It's in like the gap
Frame.
between 2 is like
Milliseconds.
like that. It's like
Nanoseconds,
so fast,
that
yeah.
framing is there. Yeah. But see, again, our umpire checked and then gave you out. I think you shouldn't have remonstrated in front of the umpires in that sense. Sure, he played some audacious shots.
We've seen some. We were having a chat about this earlier upstairs as well, but we've seen worse remonstrations, in my opinion.
Of course, but
What has he done?
No, not from Rian.
Okay.
In general.
Yeah, in general.
general.
You were okay with what he did today?
No. Again, I feel that once the decision is done, all this never helps. It's never going to. Never.
I think
never
he
in
was
the
just
history
inquiring that the
seen.
bat hit the ground. Na yaar, why are you still giving me out?
So that's what I felt that
think
we've
didn't
seen
look like
much
an
worse
inquiry.
in terms of there being a genuine and a intense remonstration. Today was a mild remonstration.
But he says it wasn't a gentle inquiry.
Mahi bhai ki
It didn't look like an inquiry if you look at it. I mean, he was trying to control his anger and he was walking out. He was walking very slowly. If you have got a mild inquiry, you just walk off.
When you talk about who's walking, how that reminds me of yesterday Raidu. That how Dhoni is walking. That's really gone viral on social media, na?
No, that I think is unfair. I know a lot of people are showing that Raidu once again going gaga over
He's saying
Dhoni.
that, he was saying that how he's coming out to walk. It looks different today.
I know he was going gaga over him. That today that black thing is also he's coming out to walk with an intention. What people are forgetting that Raidu was saying all of that tongue in cheek. You have to see the context of it. So Sidhu and Raidu were having a go at each other. Raidu himself had said in a way that it's not going to happen, but it's like, you're supposed to role play. I'm the Chennai fan. So it's like that. He's saying, "Arey, ab to khatam ho gaya na tera Chennai." He's like, "Arey, abhi to Dhoni aaya hai. You see now what he'll do." He said, "Jita dega." Nahi, jitayega. He says that also. Jitayega to nahi, but dekhna aap intent se. Intent to dikhayega. He himself is actually making fun.
Yeah.
He himself is. But people are taking it on face value. Ki wo tareef kar raha hai. He's actually being
That's
tongue in
also
cheek.
because of reputation, na?
He's being tongue in cheek.
Tongue in cheek.
You gotta realize that they're doing role play.
Satire,
And he's supposed to be the Chennai
Now
fan.
commentators are taking fun of Mahi bhai.
See, satire and comedy don't have a say in modern day India. Let's not even get there. Okay. No one understands satire. No one understands humor.
Yeah, that's what.
So that's
valid point.
I think
He's made a larger point.
it's enough said. Enough said on
He's
that because
made
see, it is
But
this.
you don't get delisted for that.
No. I will not.
Will you take a joke if I tell you one? Do you have a sense of humor?
Don't I always take a joke?
You guys understood the delisting bit.
I
no?
understood it.
I know all of it. I know where he was heading to.
I also.
So basically, if you have a good sense of humor, you can look at. So the other day we were sitting and we were doing a discussion, and I said that if we had an award amongst us for one person who gets his predictions wrong all the time, you will win the prize hands down. He said, no, not me. There are 2 other people who are ahead of me. So I said, who are the 2? He said, they're not here today. There are only 2 people who are not there.
See,
Both the Siddharths one day.
But-
who said they are way ahead of me when getting their
Sir, I'll
prediction.
tell you
I
one
do
thing.
agree, but
I never said this. I said that 2 people. I
Even
never
if
said
you
they're not
said-
here or not.
See,
I
even
didn't
if you said
specify.
It was not prediction, scores and all. Like saying that they're 20 run short.
No
saying
one-
it's a good batting pitch, it turns out to be a good tricky pitch.
see,
That-
no one in the history of sports today can get 0.74.
No. That
What
he was not
0.74?
even there. No, Siddharth.
I know. He was right actually. It is not about humor. I think you are right. I got all 74 predictions wrong in
But how
2022.
does he know that he was not here? No.
He might have suddenly अंधेरे में तीर चला लिया.
He says now.
No,
Now.
Sid. We said I didn't
See,
say
now we don't even do the prediction. No. He's
Because of
saying
my-
your prediction of assessing the game, you get it wrong more often than.
I said 2 people. I did not mention if they are here or
ठीक है. So
Acha, who are those 2 people?
not. Now I know.
gotcha.
I said 2 people. He said.
I said
I
didn't
said
name-
Harshit and me. You said no.
Yeah.
So then.
I'm
then
still
the-
saying I won't name them now.
अरे but it's obvious यार. It's okay.
You are not.
Humor taken. I'm not
See,
so.
But that's shown big heart. He can take the jokes as well.
He can. Can we take some jokes that will be cracked on us? The real ones.
The real ones, yes.
Shashwat is anyway kamar kas ke aata hai. He knows that it's going to happen. है ना? For these, of course, you don't come prepared.
Like I just come and I just tell people who know me that not to.
But for this, you need a thick skin, which is good. Only complimenting you. Okay, Shubham Gar says all Indian openers have decided unanimously this time they won't score runs. They want Virat to play the T20 World Cup. Is that a possibility? He's retired, officially retired.
See,
Shubham is a Virat fan, I know.
he has retired on the ultimate of highs.
Yeah. Why
Don't
should he go
spoil
back?
it.
Yeah, why should he go back?
Yeah.
Not happening.
Mr. Mutton Biryani says, Sid, why? See?
Right on cue.
See that? And this question came well before I even asked you this because these are.
We decided we'll also do a poll one day.
Neutral observation.
सही है.
What's that observation?
Yes, he said, Mutton Biryani says, Sid, why does Shashwat point out to you with the one with more strong
We
predictions?
said
बताओ यार.
I wasn't pointing out at you, but we'll do
He
a poll
also knows that
tomorrow.
now. He also knows it.
We had to do a poll. We'll do it tomorrow then. You said no, we'll do a poll of whose predictions are mostly wrong. So you said that
I
tomorrow.
think it'll be
said
skewed to
2 days.
my thing only. I get the most
Okay.
things wrong.
Okay, we'll do it. Pradeep Srivalsan says, agree with Sid. Oh, Siri has used your
He's
old
used
name,
old name,
after
yeah.
a very long time. He says, Impact sub CSK out, GT in. He's also going to do that.
Yeah.
He's making an Impact sub. That's a nice one.
Yeah.
But he wants RCB to win this for Kohli. After 18 years, I'm contemplating switching allegiance. From CSK, he's going to...
The other side of the Kaveri.
Man,
That's
that
good.
is-
That's sacrilege.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, today, I think this time there won't be much of sympathy for CSK. You're down.
But even then,
You're down. And that's why this meme is going on. Na? RCB and BBK's DC fans. Now CSK will realize how we have all been feeling.
I
all
don't
these
think you
years.
still can. When you got 5 titles in your pocket, you don't realize anything.
Now I think they're seeing a longer drought. That's the thing. Because see, if CSK don't qualify for this
Longer than
knockout,
RCB's route.
I don't know. See, once Dhoni goes and once you don't have the right transition, this is what can happen. And for the first time, another record could be broken. CSK, for the first time in their history, will not make it to 2 playoffs.
We said next year also this record can continue.
It can
I
continue,
just
but
fear
start-
the one thing I fear for the franchise and the fans is once Dhoni is not there in the landscape, that often feeling might just set in. You might just feel often after that.
But who will they come to support? That's also the problem. No?
Their team.
But they don't come.
Team
to
is bigger
So-called
than any
No,
individual.
one person did a poll outside the Chepauk
But see-
Stadium asking that will you be happy if Chennai wins or you're happy that Chennai loses and Mahibhai scores today. So most of them said Mahibhai scores, Chennai loses.
That's the real problem between RCB and CSK fans. They only support a single
No,
player.
this is with RCB also though. But
No, but RCB fans want RCB to win also. They will not
But
be
because-
happy if Virat scores and team loses.
because they haven't won none till now.
So whatever, that's good.
But maybe
I don't think so. I think RCB fans want their team to win.
But if a team is not winning for so many years, fans
So they
will
still
stay.
want it. They want it. No, they've stayed. Credit to them.
That is also because of Virat.
Not necessary. Maybe they back RCB. Come on. We'll see. I think RCB will be less affected in terms of fan following after Virat leaves than
As-
CSK when Dhoni leaves.
If today both of them leave together, I think equally both the teams will be affected.
No,
If
in
today it
terms of
happens-
fans, I
I
don't
think RCB
so.
stay more
Yeah.
intact.
Yeah.
If today
100%.
today also.
Yes, today also. I think there are more RCB fans.
That's
that
what you
care
gauge
for
from
team.
the way that they are, the way that the brand is.
See,
That's the message I get.
There is a big affection to Bengaluru. Okay, so that's why anything that Bengaluru does, they want to do well. So that's why you go to any FC Bengaluru match in Kantivira.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
fact,
Packed.
Sala Cup Namde has
Was from
come
FC Bengaluru.
Exactly.
Yes, indeed.
Their stadium is just next door.
Correct. But CSK, they don't have a face because they built everything around MS Dhoni.
That is MS Dhoni's fault. You said.
It is. I mean, he allowed it to happen. But see, he's not central to it, but he's one of the main problems. No one else could take a live decision beyond
Now
MS
today you are
Dhoni.
saying one of the main problems.
He is.
But that you said he is the only problem.
I said he is one of the main problems.
We had
That's
such
what
a big
I said.
debate, me, Gulati sir. with
Yeah, but I'm saying he is one of the main problems. Management, you look at everything, it is MS Dhoni. Everything is MS Dhoni in CSK. There is no life after.
We'll wait for the Chennai match to have that debate. The New Trafford says, title of Sidbi's next book, The Yellow Empire, Devoted. Fans, titles, scandals and downfall of Dhoni's CSK. It's a very nice book
That's
title.
actually a nice
To
title.
make
The
a-
Yellow Empire.
And I think this one you'll finish quicker than the fan book because you have so much of it inside you. You just start writing, you won't stop, and probably
But I will
We'll finish.
need a lot more people's quotes, comments and all of that. So yeah.
Okay, he also points out Arsenal Real Madrid, good match, no comeback this time for Real Madrid, he says. But have you done the story of the comebacks? Please check out of some stunning comebacks that have happened in the last decade where teams have, 2 goals from free kick. That was
That was top bins.
They were top, but also that position much closer to the goal from there to score.
Second free kick was out of the world.
Yeah.
And I agree that I don't
Never
think,
say never.
Hope
no,
it happens.
I don't think Real Madrid are doing it this year.
Hope it happens.
No.
Yeah, the team's
They've
not
been
the
very erratic. They've been very up and down.
Yeah.
I hope it's again part 2. Roma have risen from the ruins. I hope Real rise from the ruins in Bernabeu.
I know, tonight is game night, yes.
Yes.
Borussia Dortmund and Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Ashish Dhar says, can AI select impact sub? Removes undue advantage. No.
Please, let
No.
it be with humans.
See, humans did that today and did it very smartly.
Yes.
Mr. Shekhar GTN must be very happy. Joins us from the US. He's a big Gujarat Titans fan,
It's to Harshit.
as you can make out from his title. He addresses this question to Harshit. Because Harshit pointed out a valid point that he thinks that the middle order is untested. So Mr. Shekhar is saying, who's stopping the teams to reduce GT to 20 for 3? Why do you conveniently rule out that the entire bowling unit has stepped up and we won't falter to 20 for 3 every day? We already have 4 wins. Only need 4 more.
Well, if you can win 4, you can lose 4 as well. That's how I look at it.
But they still have 5 more left, no?
That's fine. And you may never win. Who knows? Look at
Yeah,
RR.
what happened
last
with
year.
RR last year.
But they have to play terrible cricket.
So with RR, they reached a point, a team that had reached 12 points, should have been the first team to qualify. Looked like, they were going to be tight. They're going to be running away with the title. They failed to get 1 win in 5 matches after that. So when you hit that trough, when you hit a bad patch, you just seem vulnerable from, more than one angle.
Yeah.
And it can happen to anyone. So
Indeed.
never say never.
Indeed. Who peaks at the right time, that is the most important bit. That's the thing that RR found out the hard way last year.
Yes, Saransh, waiting for you.
Yeah.
Last couple of questions before we wind up.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Saurabh Loya who says, please take the screenshot of my prediction. RR will win this IPL.
Whoa.
Oh boy, it takes a lot of guts to say that. You've put them last. Okay, take the screenshot of what Saurabh Loya is saying. Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan says, Sai Sudarshan should be locked at the ODI and especially Test cricket. Take him in England Test series. He's technically more solid than Gill. Jofra in English conditions with Red Cherry. We'll have to wait on that. We'll have to see him in English conditions. But yes, what he is showing, and I'm not going to talk about his Test prospects. They may consider that. I don't think they're going to be changing that slot, and I don't see a Shubman going out there. The only slots will be filled as if they are looking beyond Rohit at the moment. But what he's making you see, even in the T20 format, and we didn't spend time, we only debated about should Sai Sudarshan come back into the setup, but with his conventional shots, no cross batted, no overly aggressive, no improvisation much, just regular cricket, he's still being consistent and getting runs at a good click. So I think that is the one thing that's a standout about him. Priyanshu says answer to Sai versus Abhishek lies in the type of pitches you play. On flat tracks, Abhishek any day, but on spicy MCG or a turning Colombo, I will pick Sudarshan. I'm worried about Jaiswal. Looks distracted. I think he makes a good point about Jaiswal being distracted. Did seem like something amiss. It's not Jaiswal like. I don't know what it is.
The other way around. I feel that he's over too much into it. He's not giving himself a sufficient break. I feel he's over enthusiastic about it, and at times when you think more, you sort of see some things like this happening when you try to be ahead of yourself. I think that's the problem, because he's somebody who I have.
No, but you can't really rule out distraction. Remember, there's a switch that he's made just now from the state team. That's happened right now. There were talks about him not being too. I'm not saying that we know that for sure, of him not being too happy with someone like a Rayan Parag captaining the team when Sanju wasn't there. We hear all that. So whether that's good or bad,
only, then
so that's distraction, no? Distraction from your core thing, which is batting. So,
but he's somebody who lots of people have heard lately who have been connected to him since the time he's made his India debut, since the time he's playing for Rajasthan, that he's somebody who just keeps his head down and keeps on working.
He is, but there would have been issues that these things have happened, no?
Correct.
He is. I mean, he's a hardworking guy. Don't take me wrong.
I feel.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is a hardworking guy.
Very recently, after the BGT, I think, or after some test series, when there was some break, he went to Bombay, he went to his academy, and he had really
so nobody's denying that. BGT. He is a hardworking guy. Nobody is denying that. Yeah. But hardworking people can also be distracted or upset about things happening around.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know whether that's the case. We'll see. Chili Paneer is reminding us that all IPL winners are in the bottom 5.
Yes.
Except GT.
Except GT.
That's true.
Yeah. We're now top.
Yes. Vinod says, out of context, the FIDE Women Chess World Championship is not covered in the same breath as men's. Even freestyle taken over it isn't prestigious event in FIDE calendar. Why this inequality, sir?
Yeah. See, actually, when you look at the Women's World Championship, there isn't an Indian context, firstly. Okay, number one. Number two, you are welcome to the world, Vinod. You finally found out that you're playing the most unequal sport in the history of Earth. Chess, if you want to look at the equality factor, is non-existent. Women's chess has always taken a back seat. But actually, when you look at it, we did cover the Women's Olympiad, where India had a solid presence. They won the gold medal. If there is a India presence, then we'll definitely go big on it. Yeah, I mean, for example, candidates, when the women did well, we covered it. So yes.
Okay, last few comments. Syed Nizamuddin is saying it's time to say goodbye to Hetmyer for RR and IPL. But Hetmyer was good today, no?
Yeah, but then I think he hasn't won.
And he was retained also, yes?
He hasn't won them a
game. They retained him and not
Butler.
Just a reminder.
But I think he's not won them a game for a long time. That's the thing. He's played knocks, but he's not gotten them over the line. Barring the RR CSK game where he took the catch.
He won Delhi a lot of games, I remember, but he's same Rayan Parag effect.
Last two questions. One comment I'll take. Freaking Awesome is saying even with impact sub rule, RR are playing with a batter shot and a bowler shot. He makes a valid point. Akash Madhwal should play. I think we had him in our ideal 11.
Yes.
They don't have enough options, sadly. No genuine all-rounder. Totally messed up in the auction. We agree with all points, which is why none of us had RR in our top 4.
They had
completely
the least
agree.
price, 41 crores waiting in the
team that did not retain Butler, enough said. Yeah. Ashish Dar is saying, should MS inaugurate Sidvi's book launch?
It would be great if that happens, but
after
I think
all the things you say here,
would be great.
It would be great. Who knows, yeah? But I know he doesn't do these kind of things. Doesn't he?
Nowadays he does.
No.
Podcasts and all.
Podcasts, but then
you will have to do something for his app. Quid pro quo.
Priyanshu says, Harshit, where is your goat? Ricky Bui.
Going to England now?
I don't remember calling him the goat, but anything I was ready to have anyone.
Don't forget.
I was happy to have anyone but Prithvi Shaw in my team, and I maintain that.
Saransh, we
And his numbers I still maintain weren't bad, and he merited a place basis on those numbers.
Mehraj rules from Canada after a long time. He says, hello, good to see you all. I was going through old clips of 2023 IPL where we first had a blast, missed the whole team. We had Shane, Gargi, Sidvi. I followed you on Insta
Yes.
after then. Please end the rant on Dhoni.
After then, okay. Yeah, I mean, I won't. If he doesn't do well, I will rant. But if he does well, like for yesterday, I don't think he was responsible for the loss. So.
Yeah. All right. On that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for another edition of the Match Point. Another game comes to a close. Tomorrow, it's going to be top of the table clash.
Delhi
RCB
Capitals
versus Delhi. So join us for all the coverage and plenty other bits of content on Sports Today. Do check that out as well. From the four of us here, bye-bye, good night, Nandri, Shubhratri, Shabba Khair.
Eat your vegetables
And don't trouble your mom.
and stay safe. Subscribe to Sports Today.